Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Churchill County Planning Commission hearing, December 10th, 2025. It is 6 o'clock. I'll call this meeting to order. And item 2, would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to item 3, is there any public comment that is not on the agenda? All right, seeing none, we will move on to item 4, verification, verification and posting of the agenda.
The agenda was posted on December 4th, 2025, at the locations noted on the agenda in accordance with NRS and Churchill County Code.
Thank you, Diane. Moving on to item 5, consideration of possible action, approval of the agenda as submitted or revised.
Tammy Edgman for the record. I move to approve the agenda as submitted and revised.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And it passes unanimously. Moving on to item 6, verification and notification of all landowners in accordance with NRS and Churchill County Consolidated Development Code.
All notifications were made as stated on the agenda.
Thank you, Diane. Moving on to item 7, consideration of possible action, approval of the minutes of the meeting held on November 12th, 2025, public hearing.
I move to approve the minutes of the meeting held on November 12th, 2025.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, passes unanimously. Moving on to item 8. Under that, A, consideration of possible action, review of a special use permit, SUP 1091, for a multi-tenant business complex previously granted to Rigoberto Uribe and Maria Herrera of Desert Properties RUS on June 12, 2024. The property is located at 5070 Reno Highway, assessors parcel number 008-531-90. A condition for approval was an annual review until the Planning Commission determines it is no longer necessary. And then the Planning Commission at their June 11th, 2025 meeting recommended another review in 6 months to review the progress toward the meeting and the rest of the conditions that had not been met. Thank you. Are you guys here to comment? Please state your name and address for the record, and can you give us an update on kind of where you were at? Hold on, you're not, there you go.
Oh, okay. Maria Herrera.
Rigoberto Uribe.
And please state your address.
It's 5070 Reno Highway.
Thank you.
We have done some progress, but there's a delay on the septic tank. I guess the measurements for the calculations that they did weren't how they're supposed to. They have to do a new planning for that.
A new what?
A new plan from the engineer.
Oh, for the
For
septic system?
tank,
Okay, not just the septic tank, the septic
The
system?
septic system, yes.
Okay,
They were gonna start it, but they had that problem with the plumbers and everything.
okay. Randy, would you like to?
Yeah,
also
thank you,
comment?
Mr. Chair. Randy Hines, Public Works Planning and Building. Yeah, so back at the June meeting, there was the three major conditions that needed to be met were the NDOT improvements. As you can see up there, there's this is the old Wine and Yoder building, and there's access off the highway across the entire frontage of that property. one of the comments from NDOT was to reduce that and have just a single approach on the west side of the building. One of the other items was the septic system. It is an old residential septic system, not suitable for a multi-tenant facility. Same thing with the well. Again, it's a residential well, not suitable for a multi-tenant facility. It was, at that June meeting, they had not had those conditions met. You guys said, well, let's get another review in 6 months, which is today. And that's, again, we're at the same position that we were 6 months ago. Those conditions still have not been met, so. No. Well, I did a site visit today. The approach out front is still the same. Still, there's no fence installed, none of the landscape or anything that was there. I did not see anything going on in the back as far as a new septic system or well. So that's all I can see. They did come in and they wanted to make that big long section on the east side. They wanted to split that into 2 more units. We told them, and I think it's a condition of their approval that they couldn't do that until all the conditions of the previous SUP were met. So we told them they could not do that until they had those other 3 conditions done. So that's kind of where we sit today. We're just not there yet.
Thank you, Randy.
They installed, we went through Pure Water. They installed tanks for the tenants that are there. And they did the water evaluation. I don't know if they got back to us. Our contractor is here. But as for the septics, we're just waiting for that. And then we were waiting also for the NDOT to get back.
Okay, and so when did you find out that you had to redesign your septic?
The septic?
Yeah.
I'm not sure when that was. Is it? I guess the engineer was talking to someone in the planning, or I'm not sure.
Oh, Scott. Okay. So have you guys spoke to anybody, Randy?
You know, I have not spoke to anybody regarding a septic. I'm not sure if Jara has. I'll have to ask building,
Okay.
but I can find that out.
All right. With that, I will open it up to the board. Go ahead, Scott.
Mr. Chair, Scott Nelson for the record. Randy, sorry. This is commercial. So Churchill County does not normally oversee a commercial septic system. It usually goes through NDEP,
That is correct.
and that is the case with this one.
That is correct.
So talking to you guys doesn't really affect, okay. Who's your engineer?
Jorge, ¿cómo se llama el ingeniero? El ingeniero? OC Engineering.
What is it?
OC Engineering.
Okay, so if they have to fill out an application and a permit for the Nevada Department of Environmental Protection for a commercial septic system.
Yeah.
So where are you at? Because they would have to design a system and then they would have to apply to NDEP. Have they done any of that to your knowledge?
He's redoing the plan. Because of I'm not sure of the measurements, but I guess he's redoing the plans that were.
Okay, so it sounds like he did a plan, took it to NDEP, they kicked it back to him, and now he's having to redo it.
He has to, yeah.
Okay. So do you have a timeline from him as to, I mean, because normally you should be able to get a septic system in Fallon, even through NDEP. I mean, you should be able to get that through within a month, pretty easily.
¿Que cuándo puedes hacer eso? Porque duran como un mes para darte un permiso para eso. ¿Que cuánto tiempo?
6 meses. Porque después falta como 2 semanas para que lo termine. Como 6 meses. Dile que ya tenemos todos los días adentro, pero no podíamos empezar.
Ordinance. But- Okay, I'm not sure.
Okay, so he hasn't
Yeah.
given you a timeline or
No.
anything? Who's your contractor that's gonna do it, do you know?
Silver, State Construction.
Silver State Construction?
Silver State? Yeah, he's here.
Okay. Have you talked to the engineer? Why don't you come up here?
Yeah, can you please come up and,
I just kinda wanna clarify where
we
we're
need
at
your name and
time-wise.
address for the record, sir. We need your name and your address, yeah. Can you please push the button there? There you go. Thank you.
Jorge Cruz from Silver State Construction. Where's the address there? 5070 Reno Highway. So I've been talking to the engineer for the last 3 weeks, and he was working on design for the new septic. The owners, they was gonna provide a 4,000 square feet gallon tank. And according to the property, that's too big system. They cannot make a fit those leach field. So the way they're resigning right now, they're thinking for all those bottles they're going to provide, that's enough at 2,500 square feet. So that's where they're working right now. And also he's working with NDOT for the front entrance. He was go kind of ahead in the NDOT, but in August 1st, they changed all the codes. So he's working on the new code from NDOT right now. And that's the same engineer we hired to do both.
Okay, so NDOT, you're talking about the front and the approach,
Yeah, because
So
the
he's
county
working on that.
required for approach in the front.
but the same engineer is also working with
Yes.
NDEP to do your septic system.
Yes, same engineer.
So do you have a timeline of when you think you're gonna
We
put
have a
this?
schedule next week, Wednesday, to go do the new Protect to see they can fit a 2,500 square feet gallon tank.
Okay,
So that'll be a week from today.
so within the next 3 weeks, you should have permits, answers, something.
Yeah, I will coordinate with the county as soon as we got an answer, but they say after we got the design and they make it worth at 2,500, they can done those plans in a couple of weeks.
Okay. So, my thoughts based on what I'm hearing, this either needs to be tabled or a short extension done because we don't have enough information to do anything, but that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you, Scott. Anybody else have anything
Yes.
that they would like to add? All right, Tammy.
Tammy Edgem for the record. Just as a review on this, so it used to be a furniture store that ran just one business. You guys have subdivided this. You have tenants in there right now that are paying you rent, correct? And they all have to comply with permits in order to open, and they all are complying with permits to be open, but you as the landlord are not complying with what you're supposed to do to support a rental that you're offering on Reno Highway. Where are you at with your NDOT permits? Do you have a permit from NDOT? Have you paid the fee for the permit? Have you started that process?
Can I answer that question? That's the same engineer we hired because they require a new plan. After they change all the new codes in August 1st, so the same engineer we hired to do the septic, he's working in the NDOT plans too.
Okay, where are you at on your site drainage map? Have you started your site drainage map for the NDOT?
I cannot answer that, how far he's going right now, but I know he's been talking to Lisa Rogers from NDOT for a
Okay.
couple of weeks already.
Okay, so whoever's talking to NDOT for you, has the owners of the property or the owners or the landlords here, have they paid their permit to NDOT to even start the process?
Like I say, he started the process, but I don't know how far they are right now, the engineer.
Okay. All right. I'd open to
Thank you,
public.
Tammy. Is there anybody else?
Yep, Jeff Goings for the record. So here's my problem with this whole thing. We started this thing, we did this special use permit in January 12th of 2024. So we're a year and a half in. those conditions were to be met immediately. That was, and part of the reason we did this is because you had tenants in there that were trying to get moved in and you didn't have a special use permit. And so we tried to work with you folks to get this moving forward. And here we are a year and a half later, and it appears to me that you maybe started on this a month and a half ago. That is a problem with me. That's where I see that you're kind of taking advantage of this board because we tried to work with you and help you through this. I'm very frustrated with this, and I don't know that we need to table it, but I do know this, that I think that no matter what, we need to be calling them back in here very, very shortly and checking to make sure that there's any progress done, because I'm frustrated with it. I think we've done as much as we could as a board here to try to help you folks out and try to help your tenants out. And I feel like that you're just not taking us as, as important, and it needs to be done. That's my opinion.
Thank you. Is there any other comment?
Mr. Chair, Joe Frey for the record. For the planning department, just to clarify from my knowledge, are they currently, do they have multiple tenants right now and you guys are just, okay, so things are way
There's two
behind.
tenants, yeah. There's 2 tenants there currently.
But basically, they're not allowed to bring in any more tenants until any of these conditions are met.
Well, they can't expand and go build the other 2 units on the long west portion of that building. That was part of that. I think they've done all the improvements in the building as far as the firewalls and the ADA stuff in the building. And that way they had to do right of way. So then because they had existing tenants in there, right? But we also had the conditions that they need to do the NDOT improvements and the septic improvements and the well improvements, and that's what we're waiting on. That's what's not done. So I think NDOT, or I think the NDOT was in the middle one, and I think it's vacant now. It looked vacant when I was there today, but I know Whimsy's is still in the east side, and then the Jiu-Jitsu is on the west unit. So
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Tammy Edgman for the record. Can I speak again,
yes.
Chair?
Yes, Tammy.
So this is directed to the planner and the director as well. So with this in mind, the fact that they failed to comply, they're not done the most important things that need to be done on this property in order to have the tenants there. Other than starting the revocation process, what would that do to the tenants that are in there?
shut their business down. I mean, if we start that revocation process, then they get out of there, then they would have to move their business.
How long does your revocation process take?
Month or two.
So starting that revocation process, we would be ahead of the ball and actually doing things black and white what we should be doing. And that gives them 2 months to comply and come to you prior to. Is there a way of stopping that revocation if they happen to comply?
Yeah, whenever we want. I haven't been through one, so, yeah, we can stop it whenever we want.
So if they happen to do something, rather than tabling it for another 2 months, start the revocation process so we're ahead of the game to shut it down until they can comply with the most major important things that, I mean, a septic and water and all that for tenants that are already in there is pretty important, not to mention NDOT with all the parking coming off the front. They're not complying with anything. So if you start the revocation process in 2 months, if they make a difference, then you can stop it.
Yeah, again, we haven't been through one, so it'd probably be beneficial for us to research that process and make sure if it just comes to you guys, or do we take it to the board as well? Let us, I think at least give us a month to, let's discuss it again next month and say, and they can come back and give an update, but then we can have that defined process for that revocation process.
So your recommendation at this time is to give them another 30 days?
I say we can talk about this again in 30 days, yes. Then we can have the answers that you're asking.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Mr. Chairman, Mark Hyde for the record. I think my colleagues have done a good job kind of ferreting this out. The only question I have left is the water, and I'm going to direct that to you, Randy. I thought the water had to be a commercial size for this.
Yeah, so
property.
it's just a single well. It's not it's not a community, it wouldn't be, need to be considered a community well because you have multi-tenants on that well. So there has to be some coordination with Bureau Safe Drinking Water to see if this is inadequate. And again, not our determination, but
Right.
they need to have that coordination with ND or Bureau of Safe Drinking Water. And if the well's sufficient, then we're good. If they say, no, you need to upsize it or whatever, then they need to do what they need to do.
So I just want to find out if that process is also, has begun to receive on the water, if we're receiving the necessary permits and for the water.
Water? Yeah, we went through Pure Water, which installs tanks and to purify the water.
So my question tonight, you know, we're in favor of supporting businesses. We want you to be successful. Some of my colleagues have commented that they feel like you haven't taken us seriously, and I can understand that sentiment. But my question tonight is, how much time do you need to pull all of these things into compliance? If you only started this a month ago, you know, you can see why we would be upset about this going on for a year and a half. But I want to know from you and from your contractor, what is a reasonable time period for you to bring this into compliance?
You know, in Mayen, I would say we can provide a full set of plans for the septic, and I don't know how long the county take to approve it. I would say by middle of January. And the end, like I said, we'll be talking to Lisa Rogers. They don't know we have to touch the street. They're thinking we have to leave it alone because we're not disturbing any parking lots. So that one we're going to have an answer, and that be the case. She's going to draw a ladder, and I provide to the county, and they say they don't need to do any improvements on the road and the highway.
So what I'm understanding on the NDOT is that that's a little uncertain right now in terms of a time period. But speaking of the septic system, the engineering could be completed, that work could be done. You're saying you'd have completed plans by the middle of January, is that what you're saying, for the
Yes.
septic system? And then that system could be completed by when?
Well, we're gonna start working right away.
Right away?
As soon as we pull those permits, I will have my crew the next day. And the end, and just to you guys know, the very slow process with those people. I'm working in fairly another project similar to that, and that one we have to do it. We're waiting for the permit for 7 months, and it's not even close to be done. And
Yeah, that's a difficult one to
yeah,
nail
with
down.
ENDA, there's a lot of paperwork involved, and there's slow process with ENDA.
But it's my opinion that if we could have real progress on the septic system,
And the septic system, I'm pretty sure I can submit the building permit before, like I said, January 15.
so, you know, I'm of the opinion that before we start any kind of revocation, that we actually have a period of time, a short period of time, but a reasonable window where these,
You know, in my end, I can say for the septic, I need 60 days. And I feel comfortable to get it done before that. And the end that is very difficult to keep your schedule in that because the way end that operate, you know, that's a very, very slow system.
as owners, are you comfortable with that within 60 days, this could be completed? You can tell from the planning commission that we're pretty serious about this. If we don't make the 60 days, then there would be the beginning, probably, potentially, of a revocation of this SUP, so. Are you comfortable with the 60 days?
Yes. Like I said, the safety system only, I
In
don't know.
60 days, what we're saying is that the septic
The
system will have
septic,
been
yeah.
completed.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Yes.
Isn't that what you're saying?
Yeah,
60 days, it's, the septic system is done.
It's been done, yeah.
Okay.
And you guys are confident with that, on 60 days, that he could have the septic completed?
No, ya instalado. Ya instalado. Yeah. Yeah, installed and everything, 60 days.
Okay.
After we got the permit and plans, that's a fast process. They don't take more than 2-3 weeks to do the installation.
All right, thank you. Scott?
Mr. Chair, Scott Nelson for the record. I agree with my colleagues. I understand their frustrations. I'm a little concerned here because you guys are committing to have something done that you don't even have plans for yet. So you don't even really know the scope of the work. So that worries me a little bit.
Well, we've been through the
And you've got
engineer.
holidays and stuff in the middle, so if you think you can get it done in 60 days, that's fine. But you need to understand that depending on what NDP requires here, whether it's a mound system, whether it's, I don't know anything about the property, so I'm not gonna be able to tell you what I think they're gonna require. So
That's
if you
what I-
don't know the scope of work, how do you know whether you have lead time to get tanks? How do you know whether you have lead time to finish the work? So just be realistic and be truthful with the commission is my point, okay?
Before I come to this meeting, I talked to my engineer. He's very comfortable to give me those plans before January 15. And I called myself to Henson. They got all the material in stock. The only thing they have to order is the 2,500 square feet tank. They take only 10 days, 7 to 10 days, and they can deliver to the job site.
Perfect, then you clarified that for me, so
Yeah,
we're
we got
good
it
at
now.
60 days.
And this one, like I say, I speak for that, but for NDOT, I don't know how long it's going to be take.
But
I just finished another process.
I'm not even talking about NDOT right now, I'm just
Yeah,
talking about the septic
The
system.
septic, yeah.
So-
Yeah,
so-
I feel comfortable to get it done in 60 days.
And the well is the other issue, so there's 3 issues, everything else has
It's,
been completed in the
I believe
building.
it's the water, right? It's,
So the business needs a public water system. This would be similar to having a mini mart gas station on the highway. The 76 station is not far away. It has a similar system. The exact requirements for these folks compared to a mini mart service station, I don't know, but it's going to be similar. It's mainly probably some testing and that kind of reporting activities that go along with making sure it's a safe water system for all the customers to drink from.
Yeah, and the reason I asked that question is you said you'd already had the water test done, was my understanding.
I take care of that myself too. I use pure water for the last 15 years. They've been a great job for me, and I provide all those samples they ask me. I have experience in those. Be working in 100 homes, we got the same issue. So I provide everything to him. They do the testing. They put already the system in each unit, and he's working with the county right now, which we get a certificate.
So he's working with the county?
I don't know what the county, but he told me he's coordinated with the state. I don't know if he called you. Yeah. But as far as I know, they told me state control the drinking water.
So another thing I would do is get the county copies of the water test, and then you need to get in touch with the,
Like
With
I
the
said, he
Nevada
should be
well
done
people.
next week, and he's gonna give me all the copies, and I provide, we deliver it straight to the county.
okay, so that's probably something else we need to
Yeah.
get going on.
But I know he's done all the filtration system. He is wearing in those certificates, and I bring those myself and the owner to the county.
Right, but when he puts it in, it has to be approved by the state and accepted by the county. So if they don't have any of the information, or if it hasn't been submitted to the state,
Yeah,
it doesn't do anything.
that's what I'm saying. He was talking to the county.
Okay.
And he said by this week they handle everything and they got all the info.
So do you think you can have that information to the county within the next 30 days?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can have it before Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, not totally.
Or
Because
60?
that one, and he go a lot ahead in the schedule. Yeah. I know he's been working on that for the last 4 or 5 months.
Okay, so we're already saying 60 for the septic system, so let's just say that you're gonna have
Yes,
some.
30 days on that one.
Okay, all right.
And I think kind of to summarize this for everybody here is we're saying the septic system would need to be in place in 60 days, right? With the NDOT or in the water system, we need some type of documentation, right, with the state, not with, we sent something or submitted. And we got to provide actual documentation that is submitted to the state and verification that you can provide to the county that they can provide to this board, And I think, that's where we're at here, whether it gets extended or it gets revocated on however we vote or whatever motion that is. But we need actual documentation of where you're at with NDOT, not, we talked to them. We need an actual written application, some sort of documentation for that. With that,
Mr. Chairman, so
Yes.
I think where we probably need to move this to is the March meeting. And that gives them a little longer than 60 days. We put it on the agenda for March to be reviewed again in March. And if we do not have those items, as Chairman just discussed, then we can begin the revocation process. So I think you've had plenty of time. We're a year and a half in. Now we're going to give it a little longer than 60 days. You're probably going to end up with about 75 days when this is all said and done, a little more even, maybe even 90. But I think if we do it that way, then that gives the county a chance, and as well as the owners a chance to kind of get these things started.
thank you. And with that, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, Joe Frey for the record.
Is there any public comment?
Oh.
Yes. Please come up and state your name and name and address for the record. Please touch it so it turns green.
Good evening, all. Kimberly Muller with Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. I am my husband and I are one of the tenants here in this property, and I just want to understand what the revocation process would entail as far as their SUP versus ours, or is it a clear cut on all businesses? I need to understand what that looks like for the coming year, if this is the issue.
All right, thank you. You want to take that, Randy?
Yeah, and again, I think we want to research that process, but if you want to come in and talk with Dean and I in the office, and we can definitely go over that with you. This has been a unique situation from the get-go because they had tenants in there at the beginning.
We
You
were the
guys
tenants.
you guys were the tenants, and they
Yes.
were the ones that came to us, and that's how we opened this can of worms back a year and a half ago, right? So again, this is a unique situation. We don't want to go down the revocation process by any means, but we still need to get these conditions taken care of. And
No,
that's
I
kind of where
understand.
where we're going with that. But if you could please come and talk with us, we're available Friday. Tomorrow I've got training tomorrow, and then anytime next week we'll make some time for you to come chat with us.
Perfect. We just need to make accommodation should anything fall through. And I'm very concerned. I'm extremely concerned. This is our first business. We do a lot of community work, and we are a good presence in the community, and we want to continue to be that. And we are at your disposal to help if you need. But I just need to know where we are with that, so, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just one more comment. I think, to me, the safe drinking water is more important than the septic. And so I want to make sure that we understand who the entities are. It's the Nevada Department of Environmental Protection, but it's the Bureau of Safe Drinking Water. That's the bureau underneath the NDBP that ensures that the quality of the water meets both state and federal standards. And so we want to make sure we're talking about the same agency, same organization. That's the bar we need to clear. And to me, that's the most important. I mean, we got them all. We're going to tie these together, I'm certain, but that drinking water is a very important element, so thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Is there any other public comment? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, Joe Frey for the record. I move to review this application in 6 months. I move to review this application in 6 months.
Is there a second? Seeing no second, can I get another motion?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Jeff Goings for the record. I move that we add this to the March agenda and give them the time from this point to the March meeting to meet the conditions of the SUP.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any of all those opposed? No. One. It has been moved and seconded, and it passes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1. Thank you, you guys. We will see you in March. Thank you. All right, moving on to item B, under old business, consideration of possible action, review of a special use permit, SUP 1105, previously granted to Shalina Hossington on November 13th, 2024 for a home-based horse boarding operation. The property is located at 425 Bench Road. Assessor's parcel number 007-111-50. This is a follow-up on and enacting this permit to ensure compliance with all the conditions for approval. This item was tabled on November 12th, 2025, the Planning Commission meeting, to give the applicant another opportunity to attend the meeting. Is there anybody here to speak on that behalf? Seeing none, Randy, would you like to give us an update?
Yeah, Randy Hines for the record. We had tried to reach out to Ms. Hoisington 3 times with our business license department, and then twice with, once we had the agenda set to have her come to the meeting. We have not had any correspondence with her on any of those times we've tried to contact her. I guess I don't know where else to go except for, all she needs is a business license, and that's what we're trying to get wrapped up. So that's where it sits
Do you
today.
know if it's actually operating, or is she just kind of abandoned it?
When we've been out there, we don't see anything because we're not there when she's operating, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, unless we drive out there, 10 times a day.
So there's a strong possibility that
Yeah,
it's
there's
not.
maybe.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Randy. Does anybody have any other comment from the board?
Tammy Edgman for the record. This applicant was actually observed running the business without a license, without anything from the county. The county stepped up to help with the special use permit, and nothing has been complied in over a year since then with absolutely no information. To my knowledge, the business is still running, but she's still operating without a license as she did prior to the county finding out about it. With that said, I definitely think you guys need to learn how to do the revocation process.
Thank you, Tammy. Is there any other comment from the board? Seeing none, is there any public comment? All right, seeing none there, I would entertain a motion.
Tammy Edgman for the record. I move to start the revocation process by the director due to the applicant failing to comply and following their conditions.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, passes unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to item C, under old business, consideration of possible action, request for renewal of a temporary use permit, TUP 384, previously granted to Carrie Brasford on August 12th, 2020 for temporary quarters while constructing a primary dwelling. The property is located at 895 Howard Place, assessor's parcel number 007-851-19. Mr. Bradford, can you please state your name and address for the record? Oh, touch the red button there till it turns green. Thank you.
Good evening. Yes, my name is Kerry Bousford.
All right, Carrie, have you made any progress in the past year?
Yes, I have. I got the foundation in, but at this point, I have this place up for sale with Josh Burney, and I am wanting to sell and move as soon as possible.
Thank you. Randy, would you like to give us an update also?
Yeah, so again, Randy Hines for the record. Again, this was presented at the November 13th meeting last year. I just wanted to note that it was stated in that Mr. Bassford needed to show significant progress into building a home. We have had several meetings with Mr. Bassford, some on the phone, some in person. We have gone through his building permit. He has an active building permit to build a house, and he has this temporary use permit to live on the property. We had talked about what that substantial progress would be in the first year, and we had set that to be foundation, walls, trusses, and roof must be completed in that first year. Since that last meeting, all the temporary use permits are now administrative. And since this was the last one, he has not made the substantial completion, so we had put it on the agenda for you guys to make the decision on whether to grant him an extension or deny that extension. And with that, I can answer any questions.
Thank you, Randy. Mr. Bradford, real quick, are you still living at the property then?
Yes, I am, and as soon as it sells, we're going to leave. And I don't want to do any more building or anything. I want to get out as soon as possible. So I do have the place up for sale. And at this point, I am, due to the seriousness of the situation and the stress, I'm now under doctor's care. And it's very serious that I get out because of the stress and end this whole situation. I have high blood pressure and a heart condition and kidney condition now due to the stress. So it's a matter of getting it sold and getting out as soon as possible. And that's why I'm working with Bernie, Josh Burney Realty, and we've actually had some people come out and look at the place. So I need time to have a temporary living permit so I can get the place sold and find a new place to move to as soon as possible. And that's why I'm asking for the temporary permit, just to get the place sold and find a new place to move to.
And then when did you list the property for sale?
I'm sorry?
When did you list the property for sale?
I would say 3 weeks, a month ago.
So here just recently. Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Bradford. I will open it up to the board if there's any comments or concerns.
Tammy Hitchman for the record. This is for the planner and the director. How many years have we had this temporary living condition? How many years has the building permit been open that he's been building?
I think the original temporary use permit was done in 2020. I was kind of looking back at some old records. That's the last one I'd seen. I think the applicant was living there before that. I think it was from a code enforcement case they came upon before then. So again, I'm just going to say 2020. So we're going on 6 years now. And then he's actually had a building permit in place since, I want to say March of, he's had a building permit for a year now. He had to have that building permit prior to the meeting last year, and he did get that. So he's had his building permit for a little over a year.
I'm a little concerned at the fact that people make adjustments and they start doing things just before the meeting once they get a notice. That is a concern for me. You guys have given ample time. The county has given you ample time, and they've worked with you, and I understand it's causing you stress. You do live in a mobile home, or I'm sorry, an RV that could be moved to a location so that you do not comply.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. I have no money whatsoever. We'll be homeless. My existence depends on the sale of that property. Other than that, I only live on my SSI and Social Security, which pays a $755 mortgage on that land. And if I have to leave, I'll be homeless on the street, literally, my wife and I. And that I cannot afford to move that trailer anywhere or pay for it to be anywhere.
So these were choices that you made, building a home with no money.
No, I did have money, but then at this point, I decided I can't live there anymore under this stress, and I don't have the money anymore to move forward, and I don't want to move forward. I want to get out and end it and get away from it. It's over. I don't want to put another penny into this project. I'm done. And I don't have any more money. It's all gone.
It takes time to sell a home, especially one that has a foundation that might be for a home that somebody doesn't want, or the size that somebody doesn't want. So it will take you time to sell a home and to sell land.
I'm sorry?
It takes time.
I'm aware. What will happen is, if I can't get it to move there, I'm going to drop the price. I want out. I'm done. It's a matter of life and death with my health. I can't take it anymore. I could have a heart attack with my doctor's recommendation to get out. I could have a heart attack or stroke any time due to the stress of this. And if you need a doctor's statement, I'm more than happy to get it.
Thank you. Is there any other comment or questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, Mark Hyde, for the record. I was here for the last meeting last year, and you have made progress since then. I mean, you put in a foundation, you've spent money to put in a foundation. And what I'm hearing tonight is that you've made a very solid commitment to make another change, a big change, and that is to move as soon as possible. And so I personally feel like that we could do that. We could grant you some more time, especially if you're willing to be reasonable about the sales price. If you need to drop that, drop the price to sell it. I think what Tammy's concerned about, and I really understand, my colleague there, is for this to stretch out for another year and nothing has happened. We'd like to see if we grant another year renewal of this temporary use permit, that within that period of time, you've sold that property and have moved, and we wish you good health, and we want you to have every possibility to have good health. And so I personally don't see a problem of granting that extension. I'll just make my opinion known here before we have a vote. So
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff Goings for the record. So here's my problem with it. This is a temporary use permit, and we're almost 6 years into a temporary use permit. And I keep hearing this over and over and over again. There's always a reason why we can't move forward. We never move forward. And in the interim, we have a travel trailer, basically, in place out there that you live in, and that is not acceptable to the county code, or really for any of your neighbors or whatever. My problem is I understand you got health problems, I understand that you're under stress or whatever, but you've been given nearly 6 years to get this done, and we've reviewed it every year. We've had to extend it every year. And I think I've at least been on here at least 2 years that you've come in and extended it out. I'm really not ready to give you another extension. In my opinion, I think you've had 6 years, and I understand that you're in stress, and I don't want to put any more stress on you, but I just feel like if we do give you another year, I feel like we're going to see you right back here again next year. And that's the way I feel about it right now. And I'm sorry I'm hard tonight, but that's just the way I feel about it. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Well, you know what happens, sir, was when I was at this point and I was talking to Randy, there was no mention until he told me, what was it, the beginning of the year? The foundation, and then I had to have the floor, the walls, and the roof all up. Where am I supposed to get the money to do all that in 1 year? I'm not going to sell any more water rights. It's going to, I've already devalued my property enough, and I want to save the rest of the water right that's on my land, so it'll keep the value there, so it'll sell. So all of a sudden, I was slammed with having to put a floor, roof, and walls up. I was like, well, I don't have the money for that, so I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out of there. I want to sell and get on with my life. I don't want anything to do with this anymore. I just
And
want
we're
to.
under, yeah, thank you, Mr. Bradsford.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry,
Yeah, just settle down. And we've heard that.
excuse me, I
we
got to get a
understand.
drink of water. Can't take this anymore.
Mr. Bradsford, okay.
I guess I feel I'm looking at being homeless on the street is what's happening.
No, and we understand that. So, is there any comments or questions from the board? Is there any public comment on this item? No. Scott?
I agree that another year is ridiculous at this point. But I think can we do some kind of review in 3 months or 2 months and just say, hey, if you've sold it, fine. I don't want to do another year because it just keeps going and it's just ridiculous.
Excuse me, sir, you say you don't want to go another year.
Hey,
It's not going to go beyond another year. I just want a year so I can find a home and to get it sold so I can move away. I don't need to move on and build or anything else. I just want to get out.
Yeah, thank you. Randy?
Yeah, so again, the temporary use permits, they're temporary, right? Again, this is for home construction. We don't have a temporary use permit that, for this situation as far as in our code for just living there to try to sell a home. We don't have a temporary use permit that applies to that. This is done under the home construction. Unfortunately, again, we did talk about putting a floor, a roof, walls, all that stuff, because that's substantial completion, and that's what we discussed back in April. And again, I've been real open with the applicant that we have to make substantial completion, especially in this case that it's been going on now for 6 years. Unfortunately, we can't make that decision, hence why it's here. So you guys, I mean, like I said, I've told him that. I've been open with him. I said, we administratively cannot do anything for you, and that's why we have to bring it to you guys, so.
Excuse me, by the way, I have all the infrastructures there. There's well, a brand-new septic system put in professionally. Everything has been permitted. Electricity is completely there. And now there's a brand-new foundation that's only like 4 months old that can be built on. I've got everything there.
Correct. No, we understand that, Mr. Bradsford.
Okay.
We understand that.
It's like,
And,
it's more than just a foundation.
Yeah.
I got
No,
that done this year.
Yeah, I think everybody's concern is we've got all that over a 5-year period is the problem, right? I mean, not 1 year. So, with that being said,
Mr. Chair, can I interrupt you?
yes.
To the board, I'm sorry, not to the board, but to the planning and the director, what is the process and how long does it take with a denial? If he had a year to list this for sale, if he didn't have money at the beginning of the year and he doesn't have money now, and we deny this, does that give him 60 days? Does that give him 90 days? What is the denial process?
As you guys are aware, you denied one last month. So that was the second week in November. We are currently scheduled, he filed an appeal that is currently scheduled for the January 6th. So I'm going to say you have about 45 days.
Thank you.
The appeal goes to the county commissioners, correct, Randy?
That is correct.
And then
And keep
so-
in mind, there's an appeal fee of $250 that goes along with that.
Yeah. And at that point, the county commissioners can either approve it or disapprove it.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, just a question. This will be directed to you and Dean. Have there been any complaints from neighbors about this property because of this ongoing temporary use permit?
No, sir.
I mean, one reason we have a temporary use permit is because we don't want to have something that's unsightly in a community that detracts from the value of the property. And so I'm wondering, because of the location of this, how many people actually have been offended? And is this a nuisance? And what's the problem of having another year for him to actually get it sold?
It's not, it's more the life, safety, health than it is a nuisance, right? RVs are meant to be
That's
used
fair.
temporarily,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's a life, safety, health situation and not a nuisance.
Has that been a contribution to his health issue right now? Yeah, I'm just throwing that out.
Thank you, Mark. I guess, is there any other comment? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Tammy Edgman for the record. I move to deny the request for renewal of temporary use permit.
It has been moved and seconded to deny. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Oh, hold on. And then all those opposed? Nay. All right, so we have a 3-3 tie. Is there any other motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Anybody like to make?
I move that we, what's that? Yeah. I move that we do a 6-month extension of this temporary use permit.
It has been moved and seconded to extend this for 6 months. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right, it is passed that you have 6 months to sell your property or to build a home. So, good luck, Mr. Bradford.
And thank you for that. And what happens if it's not sold after 6 months? Can I appeal?
If you are denied an extension, yes, you would be, but we would review your application in 6 months.
I'm
You
sorry?
don't- We're going to review your TUP in 6 months. It's no longer reviewed in a year. You'll be reviewed in 6 months at that time.
I'm
And
sorry, I
make
don't
a
quite
determin-
understand. You said I get 6 months, right, to get my place sold and find a place to live,
Yeah,
right?
or
Yeah.
build a home, whatever.
Right,
Do
that-
something.
no
Yeah.
building.
Or you're coming back in front of the commission, and we are doing the same thing that we are here tonight.
Oh, I see. So I can appeal it then at the end of 6 months?
Well, you're going to be back in here. I don't know if it's an appeal. It depends whether it's approved or denied at that time.
I see. Very good. Very good. Thank you very much. I appreciate
you.
your time and understanding of my situation.
All right.
You're
thank
very
you.
kind. Thank you.
That's it.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
All right. Moving on to item 9, new business. And we'll move on to A, consideration of a possible action, a parcel map application PC 25-13 filed by Bart Hyatt. The property is located on Boundary Road, assessor's parcel number 009-071-27, consisting of 66.54 acres in the A10 zoning district. The parcel map will implement a previously approved tentative parceling plan. The applicant proposes to create 3 lots and a remaining lot that will be divided further by subsequent parcel map. This item was postponed from the November 12th, 2025 meeting. Is there anybody here to speak on that behalf? Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, David Crook, Loomis and Associates, 275 West Williams.
Thank you, David. I think everybody heard this last month, right? And then I think it was because we didn't have a quorum to vote, if that is correct. Is there anybody that needs any more information on this than the board?
No information, Mr. Chairman, Jeff Goings for the record. I think, though, that we were trying to combine these 2 items last time, is that correct? So that they were voted on as one, yeah, and so that's the only thing that I can see that we may want to do here.
And I think the motion is on the, is
The
on there, it's
recommendation.
written that way.
So then I can read item B into the record also while we're here. All right.
Yes.
So this is new business, item A and B. I've read A, and then B is consideration of possible action, a parcel map application, PC 25-14, filed by Bart Hyatt. This property is located on Boundary Road. Assessors parcel number 009-071-27, consisting of the remainder of 33.25 acres in the A10 zoning district. The parcel map will implement a previously approved tentative parceling plan. This applicant proposes to divide the parcel into 3 lots. This item was postponed from the November 12th, 2025 meeting. With item A and B, they will go together. And then, is there anybody that would like to add anything from the board? All right, seeing none, is there any public comment? All right, seeing none, I would entertain a motion for A and B.
Tammy Edgman for the record. Based on the information provided in the application, the staff report and heard tonight, I move to find that the criteria found in CCC 16.04.040C and in Churchill County Code 16.04.050A have been met for the parcel map applications PC 25-13 and 14, and therefore recommend the board that it goes to the Board of County Commissioners. A, approve the 2 parcels for Bart and Shirley Hyatt to be divided APN 9-07127 into 6 lots. This approval is subject to conditions as listed in the staff report. B, accept the offer to grant the easements identified on the maps. And C, reject offers to dedicate land and improvements. This also qualifies for new business item number B, assessor's parcel number 9-07127.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
It passes unanimously, and then with any zone change, map, ordinance amendment, and PUD application is always forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners with the Planning Commission's recommendation. Thank you. All right, moving on to item C and new business. It's a consideration of a possible action, a parcel map application, PC 25-11, filed by Bernard Ponte Jr. and Cynthia Troxel. The property is located at 1250 Rice Road, assessor's parcel number 008-272-03. The applicants propose to divide the farmstead from the farm lot, creating 2 lots. This item was postponed from November 12th, 2025 meeting. Is there anybody here to speak on that behalf? And can you please state your name and address for the record? That red one, there. The red light, right there. There you go.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
I'm Bernard Ponte Jr. My address is 3995 Westwood Drive, Carson City, Nevada.
And I'm Cynthia Troxel, and I'm at 1641 Tamara Lane, Fallon, Nevada.
Thank you. And you guys are looking to split the lot. Dean, would you like to give us some information on this?
Sure, thank you. Dean Patterson, Public Works and Planning for the record. So the applicants propose to divide the farmstead from the farmland, creating 2 lots. The parcel map is not intended to create a new development, but rather create a 3.55 acre parcel for an existing residence and a large remainder parcel of vacant farmland with water rights. The staff report reviews the approval criteria. There were issues that the applicant had with the previous the previous staff report, but there have been clarifications that resolve those issues, and those are identified in the staff report. One issue was that the master plan Title 13 and the second and subsequent parcel map code says that lots under 5 acres are not normally allowed unless connecting to the community water or sewer system. Under the previous review, it was learned that after the previous review, it was learned that the parcel had already been connected to the Old River water system, so those standards do not apply. Another issue was that the new parcel maps using wells must normally dedicate water or pay a water fee, but since both parcels are or will be served by the water system. That standard doesn't apply either. Another issue is that the road serving the new small lot that runs across the old River Water Company parcel, it's the one with the well on it now, pardon me, must meet county standards, but a variance was approved last year to meet the minimum access road standard, and since the initial review, the road supervisor has confirmed that the road is adequate, so the conditions related to that were modified. And lastly, the applicant had questions about the certificates on the map indicating that the dedication of sewer and water improvements was discussed. Facilities are not being dedicated, and that text will be clarified on the map. So all issues have been resolved for the map, and we'll be happy to answer questions. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Dean. Is there anything you guys would like to add?
No, that covered everything that we had concerns that caused the postponement from the last meeting.
Okay, thank you, guys, on that. And then I don't have anything, so I will open it up to the board if anybody has any questions or.
Tammy Edgman for the record. On parcel 3, the property that is on the west that you're wanting to divide, and we did a variance for in a couple meetings back, that was a dirt road that was an existing dirt road to a different parcel that was supposed to give access to this homestead that was going to stay a homestead. So now we're splitting it, and I see that the road goes to the west side of the right side of the property. On the right side of the property there, you guys on parcel 2 are going to be subdividing. By no way, shape, or form is this variance going to be affected to where there is access from that dirt road that we did a variance so that they did not have to bring it up to code to go to parcel 2 for the subdivision. Is there going to be a loophole that any of the homes that are built in parcel 2 when it is split for the subdivision, that would be a loophole that we're allowing?
It really wouldn't be possible to use that dirt road. It's basically the driveway to the, I think it's the Ponte farmstead for a long time. You can see the shape of the small lot. I don't believe you would be able to drive through the lot and serve parcel 2-C, I guess it is. In addition, parcel 2 is also has access on Wade Lane, so there's plenty of ways to get to it without using this driveway for the farmstead.
Okay, so just to clarify, and I know that there's access to parcel 2C from Wade Lane, but when you start subdividing that and getting homes back in there, there is that road there. I just want to clarify that that's not what we're allowing access to, if there is a lot that ends up being on the next map that comes.
So just to clarify, you're asking about the driveway across the water company property to and across the canal on the little concrete bridge to the house. Is that what you're asking about?
Correct, because that's going to be the access now to what you're splitting on parcel 3, the split that you're doing.
It's inadequate for providing access, and it goes straight into the parcel. You wouldn't be able to drive, you wouldn't be able to use it for the larger, for development of the larger parcel.
Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you. Is there any other comment? Seeing none, is there any public comment? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Mark Hyde for the record. Based on the information provided in the application and the staff report and heard tonight, I move to find that the criteria found in Churchill County Code 16.04.040C and Churchill County Code 16.04.050A have been met for the parcel map application PC 25-11, and therefore recommend that the Board of County Commissioners approve the parcel map for Bernard Pawnee Family Trust and Cynthia Troxel to divide APN 008-272-04 into 2 lots. This approval is subject to conditions as listed in the staff report.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye. Aye. Passes unanimously, so thank you guys. With any zone change map, ordinance amendment, or PUD applications, always forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners with the Planning Commission's recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Moving on to item D of new business, consideration of a possible action, a special use permit application, SUP 25-41, filed by Nathan Koyama of K&K Ranch LLC. The property is located at 600 Howard Place, assessor's parcel number 007-891-18, consisting of 9.72 acres in the A5 zoning district. The applicant proposes to add livestock meat processing to the existing home business for game meat processing. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hello, I am Nathan Koyama with 600 Howard Place.
And I'm Ellen Covington, 600 Howard Place.
Thank you. All right, Randy, can you give us a little background?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair. The applicant received approval for a special use permit back in July of 2025 to operate a wild game processing home business within the existing 480 square foot garage on the residential property. The original approval included a condition explicitly limiting the business to wild game processing only and prohibited domestic livestock processing, retail sales, animal slaughter, etc. And I think at that last meeting, you had there was some suggestion that he would be coming back for this proposal. The applicant is now seeking to amend the SUP to expand the approved use to include the processing of domestic livestock, specifically cows, goats, pigs, and sheep, using the same facility previously presented to the commission. Aspects of the previous SUP, the hours, appointment-only visits, waste handling practices, no on-site slaughter, et cetera, will remain unchanged. The applicant does suggest that the domestic livestock require longer hang times in the walk-in cooler, especially for dry aging, resulting in fewer customer visits since he will be taking one animal at a time. The applicant also stated that the available facility is only able to hold one cow or 3 pigs, I think 6 half pigs. So with that, this potentially reduce the frequency of drop-off and pickup visits from the customers. So with that, I can answer any questions.
Thank you, Randy. As the applicant, would you like to add or anything?
No, that pretty much explains, the specifics. As I stated in the application, the description there, that the customer visits, the customer traffic won't increase, but what this will do is it'll allow me to conduct business throughout the year rather than during just wild game hunting season. It's really all I have to add. I think it's a simple request, a reasonable request.
No. Thank you. And then the only thing I had a little question on was about how many beef a year did you think you would be able to process?
How many beef?
Yeah.
I'd say about 26 on a 2-week hang time. I don't want to hang more than one cow in that cooler at a time. So 26.
Okay. Thank you. And then I would open it up to the board if anybody has any questions.
I see Mark's mic is on. Is he speaking first?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tammy Edgman for the record. I seem to be the first one every time. I did reach out to numerous neighbors and they have no knowledge that you even had a business there, so great job. They said until they got their letter, they didn't know a business was operating there. Have you guys had any complaints, Dean, or?
No, ma'am.
I don't have any other further questions.
Thank you. Is there any other?
Mr. Chair, Joe Frey for the record. My question is for the applicants. Do you guys see anything on the recommended conditions that would impede your ability to do business, or is everything in those recommended conditions, does it meet your satisfaction?
No, my only my only thing that I didn't agree with was with my prior visit here, that I had to come back for domestic. But that's okay. I was happy about getting approved in the first place to have the business there at the property, and I'm very grateful for that. So thank you guys. So I'm back, and I want to cut up livestock for the community.
Any other?
Mr. Chairman, Jeff Goings for just two quick questions. So, what's the size of your box, your walk-in?
It's 10 by 7, 6,
Oh, it's
something like
fairly
8,
small.
10 by 8, I think.
Yeah,
it's
10 by
small.
8.
Two
So,
rails.
I guess where I'm wondering is just to clarify a little bit. Not only you probably won't have room to hang beef when you're taking your wild game in as well, right? Or are you going to have
Yeah,
enough room in there? You think?
Well, that'll definitely be something I have to. I'll have to organize.
Yeah.
And
I don't mean to go deep into this. The only reason I was asking that is you were like 26. You could potentially do 26 a year,
Yeah.
but more than likely it's going to be less domestic animals in that period because of the fact that if you're going to still continue to do wild game, you're not going to have the room. Okay, that's all I had.
Yep, I was thinking on 52 weeks, 14 days.
Like the estimate.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? Seeing none, is there any public comment? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, Joe Frey for the record. Based on the information provided in the application, in the staff report, and heard tonight, I move that the findings have been met for conformance with the criteria found in CCC 16.08.080H, and therefore approve the application for a special use permit submitted by Nathan Koyama for a meat processing home business at 600 Howard Place, APN 007-891-18. This approval is subject to the conditions as listed in the staff report.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And this passes unanimously. Congratulations. So,
Thank you so much.
and so there is a 10-day appeal period on all applications approved by the planning commission. After that time, the department will contact the applicant, complete the process. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item E, new business, consideration of possible action, a zone change application, ZC 25-3, filed by the Emborski Family LLC, Trinity Series. The property is located near Trinity Junction, assessor's parcel number 005-091-13, consisting of 640 acres in the RR20 zoning district. The applicant proposes to change the zoning to I3 heavy industrial for an explosive storage facility. Can you guys please state your name and address for the record?
Don Emborski, 710 West Fifth Street, Carson City.
Yeah, Sean Harrison, 503 Sam Clemens Avenue, Dayton, Nevada.
Thank you. And then Dean, would you like to give us a little background?
Yeah, thanks. Dean Patterson, Public Works and Planning for the record. So this zoning change application follows recent updates to the Churchill County Code regarding industrial zoning classification. The county recently divided the former single industrial district into a tiered system, including I-1, I-2, and I-3. The purpose was to provide separation of high-impact uses from residential and commercial areas. So the applicant proposes to rezone the 640-acre parcel from RR20 to, which is the entire area in that part of the county, to I-3, heavy industrial. The intent is to develop an explosive storage and distribution facility. This use is prohibited in the existing RR20 zone, but is allowed in the I-3 zone through a conditional use permit due to the use and handling of explosives. Although the parcel is 640 acres, only about 2 acres will be used for the explosive facility. The remaining acreage serves as a protective buffer, providing separation from the neighboring parcels and roads. The access road comes from the Trinity, I-80 Trinity interchange. Is there another picture that shows that better? Yeah, you can see the small lots near the Trinity interchange. And then the road curves around west and north to a large mine north of this property, and then follows the transmission line that's the mouse is marking there into the property. The applicant indicates they've been working with all of these affected owners to obtain access for the project. The staff report reviews the approval criteria. The primary reasoning in support of the rezone is that the recent rezoning efforts for industrial lands focus on limiting potentially objectionable uses to remote areas. That effort anticipated additional requests for changes to add more industrial zones. This project aligns with that plan. It is remote, but near transportation and power infrastructure. In addition, the master plan designates the surrounding area as industrial. Note that establishing a large area of I-3 land can allow a square mile of various heavy industrial activity. However, the applicant has a specific use that needs such a large area of buffer land, which will be largely vacant, and that would preclude developing the entire area for heavy industrial use. One issue pointed out in the staff report concerns the ability of the facility to be out of the path of hazardous flash flood flows, including ravines, washes, and alluvial fans, which cover much of the mountainous property. The planned location appears to be sheltered from flash flood problems by a rocky knob, although the access road will have to cross those areas and deal with the problem. So with that, staff recommends approval, and I'll be happy to answer questions.
Thank you, Dean. Is there anything you guys would like to add? Is there anything you guys would like to add? Thank you. All right, with that, I'd open it up to the board.
Tammy Edgman for the record. Thanks, Randy, for smiling. Dean and Randy, you guys have worked hard for this new industrial master plan, and I think that this aligns exactly with what we've been trying to do. So thank you.
Any other board or any other comments from the board? Seeing none, is there any public comment? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Tammy Edgman for the record. Based on the information provided in the application and the staff report and heard tonight, I move to find that the criteria found in Churchill County Code 16.08.060E have been met for the zone change from rural resource RR20 to heavy industrial I3 submitted by the Amborski Family LLC of the property located on APN 005-091-13, and therefore recommend the Board of County Commissioners approve the zone change application.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously, and with any zone map change, ordinance amendment, or PUD application is always forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners with the Planning Commission's recommendation. Thank you. All right, moving on to item F, new business. Consideration of possible action, a zone change application on ZC 25-4 filed by SEUS Development LLC for the 40 Mile Desert LLC. The properties are located off Interstate 80, assessors parcel number 004-391-14, 004-391-15, 004-391-17, 004-391-19, 004-391-20, 004-391-24, and 004-391-34, consisting of 3,169.12 acres in the RR20 zoning district. The applicant proposes to change the zoning to I3 heavy industrial for future solar project. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. Scott Whittemore with Energy Project Solutions on behalf of the applicant. The address is 4675 West Tico Avenue, Las Vegas, Nevada 89118.
All right,
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you. And then Dean, would you like to give us a little background?
Yeah, thank you. Dean Patterson, Public Works and Planning for the record. So like the previous one, this zone change application follows recent updates to the county code regarding industrial zoning classifications. County recently divided the former single industrial district into a tiered system, including I1, I2, and I3. The purpose was to provide separation of high-impact uses from residential and commercial uses. The amendments also changed the zoning ordinance such that the new I3 heavy industrial designation allows for solar power generation subject to a conditional zoning permit rather than a special use permit that requires hearings. So the applicant proposes to rezone over 3,000 acres from RR20 to heavy industrial I3. This would streamline the permitting system for the anticipated solar project. A large percentage of the property would be covered with solar panels and support facilities. Two access roads will come from the I-80 Nightingale interchange, which is west of the project area. That would be near the kink in the I-80 line on the view screen. And then the access roads would be running through the project area on the north and south sides of the freeway. These are RS 2477 historic roads, being a pioneer trail road on the south side, which is also partly an NDOT road, and the old rail bed road on the north side. These roads provide direct access to 3 of the 7 parcels and come near 2 more parcels. 2 of the parcels, the ones kind of in the northwest portion of the project area, appear to be severely inaccessible, and the solar project will need to do extensive work to get access to those properties. Power availability is mostly limited to the 3 parcels along the north side of the freeway, but a solar project will make significant investments in power lines. The staff report reviews the approval criteria. The primary reasoning in support of the rezone, like the project before, is that the recent rezoning effort for industrial lands focused on limiting potentially objectionable uses to remote areas. That effort anticipated additional requests for changes to add more industrial zones. This project aligns with that plan. It is remote, but near transportation and power infrastructure. The master plan designation for much of the area is industrial, but it does not cover parts of some of the parcels. However, the master plan boundaries are not intended to be exact, and those properties are adequately near the industrial designation. One issue is that establishing several square miles of I3 land can allow heavy industrial activity on vast areas of land with difficult access and power problems. This could overtax the transportation and power infrastructure. However, the applicant has a specific solar project in mind, and that will use up most of the land. Another issue has to do with placement of facilities in the path of flash flood flows. However, from viewing initial layout plans, the project appears to avoid those areas. So staff is recommending approval, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Dean. Is there anything you would like to add?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Scott Whittemore, again, for the record. Just want to acknowledge and thank staff as well as the county manager's office. We've been working with Churchill County on this project now for over 6 months, having started with former county manager Jim Barbie and now county manager Chris Spross. We commend staff and especially Randy Hines, Dean Patterson, their efforts for this rezone process that the commissioner was talking about. And it really signals to the industry. It gives us a lot of clarity as to what the intentions are in Churchill County. We're excited about this project. So happy to answer any questions, but greatly appreciate staff's work on this to date. They note it conforms with the master plan. We agree with their findings and happy to answer any questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And I don't have any questions, and it's just a zone change, so I will open it up to the rest of the board.
Tammy Edgman for the record. Thank you for coming. Thank you for enduring our agenda and being the last item. And thank you for going through the process the county has in place. Once again, I think that this falls right in line with the industrial master plan of the county code.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Mark Hyde for the record. I agree with Tammy. The question I had is your timing. What do you see when you project this project out? How long will this take, and when do you start?
It's a great question, sir. Scott Whittemore again for the record. Part of the project, and I apologize, the feedback here. I've got a loud enough voice. I'll stand back. Part of the project encumbers and crosses BLM lands. That process, it can be uncertain if anybody's dealt with the Bureau of Land Management on getting their permits. We've applied for that right-of-way grant. We're working through that process. Short answer is we would love to start construction end of next year. It's all dependent on getting through the Bureau of Land Management process. I was actually with the director, John Raby, this morning, and Greg Helseth talking about aspects of this project. We're working as hard as we can to get that BLM process done. Construction would be generally 18 months. The life of the project is typically 30 to 40 years. That's what a power purchase agreement would look like and kind of match the project. Does that answer your question, sir? Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, Scott Nelson for the record. Where is the NV Energy? It's right there, isn't it? Aren't you right next door adjacent to the NV Energy facility?
Yes, sir. We're exactly, one section over.
Okay. How many megawatts is your facility projected to be?
240 megawatts of solar and then 240 megawatts of BESS.
240 of what?
Battery energy storage system.
Okay. And are you using tracker panels? Are they standard?
No,
Have you guys decided that yet?
Yeah, no, they'll be tracker panels.
Tracker.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else have anything to add from the board? Seeing none, is there any public comment? All right, seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Tammy Edgman for the record. Based on the information provided in the application and the staff report and heard tonight, I move to find that the criteria found in Churchill County Code 1608.060E have been met for the zone change from rural resource RR 20 to heavy industrial I3 submitted by SEUS Development LLC on APNs 004-391-14, 004-39115, 004-39117, 004-39119, 004-39120, 004-39124, and 004-39134, and therefore recommend that the Board of County Commissioners approve the zone change application.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Congratulations with any zone change, map, ordinance amendment, and PUD application is always forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners with the Planning Commission's recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, members.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item 10, code changes. Is that, Randy, do you have anything?
Yeah, again, Randy Hines for the record. We will be having a workshop in January. I think it's January 24th. But because we've got some proposed code changes on ADUs, some E1 zoning clarifications in Title 16. And we'll also be coming back to you either, I'm hoping to get it in the January Planning Commission meeting, some cleanup in the industrial code that we've just adopted, along with some of the dual designated industrial parcels. I think there's like 10 that have dual designations that were missed in the last one. So I'm working with the city owns 3 of those parcels. I'm working with them to finalize that, and I'm hoping to get that in the January Planning Commission meeting, but it may roll into February. So with that, that's where we sit.
Thank you, Randy.
Mr. Chair, can we get it on record, the actual code change date meeting in January? Can we get that on record at this meeting?
The workshop? Diane, do you have the date on that workshop? It's either the 22nd or 24th.
It would be the 27th. I believe it's on that schedule of meetings that we provided for them, a future item.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on to item 11. Commission items. Item A, consideration of possible action of election of a chair and vice chair for the Planning Commission to serve beginning January 2026. And I believe the way that we can do this is we can go down the line and we can get nominations and then go to a vote. So we'll start with you, Scott. Well, we'll start with the chair and then we'll go to the vice chair.
Who's interested in doing it?
I'd do it, Scott. I'm sorry.
That's one.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Tammy is also interested.
Tammy would do it as well.
All right.
Mr. Chair, Scott Nelson for the record. I nominate Tammy Edgman for the chair and Jeff Goings for the vice chair.
All right. Second. Mark, well, okay, yeah. No, I was gonna go down the line like that, yeah. Mark?
Yeah, I would nominate Jeff as the chair and Tammy as vice chair.
Okay. And then Joe?
Nominate Tammy as chair, Jeff as vice chair.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and abstain for this because I am no longer gonna be here in a few minutes, so. Jeff?
I would nominate myself as the chair and Tammy as the vice chair.
Okay, and then Tammy?
You may have to vote because I would nominate myself as chair and Jeff as the vice.
So I don't think I can abstain from voting, can I, Lane? I have to vote. All right, so, all right. So all those in favor of Tammy being chair, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that's 4. All those in favor of Jeff being chair?
Aye.
It's 2. So Tammy, you will be chair. All right. And based on what I've heard, we had Jeff as vice chair. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right. That is passes, so Jeff will be vice chair. Moving on to item B, consideration of a possible action, approval of the schedule of the Planning Commission meetings for 2026, including a regular meeting change to November 10th, 2026, due to the holiday. Is there any comments?
Is it possible to make that on the day after? Can we do it instead of the 11th, the 12th? November 12th, that would be a Thursday night instead of a Tuesday? Just for those that want to go on vacation or do something for that holiday, it doesn't keep them in town that night.
Randy Hines for the record. I think we had done some changes in our bylaws to where we have actually flexibility where we can change days and times. So I think this, I mean, I'm not sure, I guess we can approve this with that proposed change, or we can just approve this and say, you know, we get to that meeting, and if we have to adjust meetings, we can do that the month before that. So
Because you could do it the meeting before.
correct. And that's why we changed the bylaws to
And I
have flexibility.
believe you weren't here for this, but yeah, Joe had, I think, had reworked all that, yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember.
All right, so yeah, okay.
This was just a proposed schedule that Diane put together. So I mean, again, we have flexibility, so we're really not tied to it, but this would be one we would set up, so.
Everybody would be good to adjust that period when the time comes. Do we need to vote on that, Lane?
Yeah.
All right. So can I get a motion on item B under commission items?
Tammy Edgman, for the record, I would like to make a motion to approve the scheduled planning commission with a minor change to Thursday, November 12th, due to the holiday on November 11th.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye. Aye. All right, that passes unanimous. All right, moving on to item 12, the consent agenda. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Mark?
Aye. Oh, sorry about that.
All right. Moving on to item 13, public comment.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just real quick, I know you guys want to get out of here, but I want to thank Zach for being on here, on the board. He's running away from us. But then Dennis Mills will actually he got recommended to be on the board, and he'll be starting next month. So just wanted to point that out to you guys.
Thank you, Randy.
Mr. Bunyard,
Yes.
Lane Mills for the record. I just want to echo those sentiments and thank you for your public service for all these years. It's a lot of work and it's sometimes not appreciated, but I think everybody in our office appreciates you and your service. Thank you.
Thank you, Lane. And I would like to add in public comment, thank you guys. It's been a good run. It's been a little over 6 years, or right at 6 years, something like that. And thank you, Diane, for all the work that you do and keeping us all lined out, and Lorelei for finding all the people on our agendas, you know. Yeah, so, and Dean and Randy, it's been a pleasure, and so, thank you guys.
Thanks, Zach.
Being said, this meeting is adjourned.